welcome to Concert Pipeline. I'm Steve Jones. Today on the program, we have J. Michael Phillips. I had a chance to talk to J. Michael about his upbringing in music, his influences, and how his mom, yeah, and her love of music kind of connected with him and lived on with him. I mean, for all of his music making time, and all of the hard stuff he went through to be able to continue to make music and kind of invest in himself. But the experiences he had of life on the streets and ultimately spending half of his life behind bars, and how he's not looking back but looking forward at this point with respect for the challenges that he's had, and making music that connects to people of all different walks of life. And it was just such a great conversation that we had. And I was fortunate enough to get to go see J. Michael play at Channel 24 in Sacramento the night that after the night that we had this conversation. And I'd never been to this venue. It was great. It was wonderful, and I was so great that so grateful that there's a new venue in the area, not too far from where I live, that can bring in big bands, medium-sized bands, and where they can put on a new show. I mean, this place held like 2,200 people or something. It's comparable to the Warfield in San Francisco, but without having to go to San Francisco to see a show. And it's in a better area. I don't know. I like Channel 24. I'm into it. I'll go see more shows there. Keep the bands coming in to Channel 24. But J. Michael was opening for Yellow Wolf, and I'll be honest, and I didn't have much of knowledge of Yellow Wolf's music before even this day. Um, and But he's Yellow Wolf's got such a cult following. Like, as I mean, people who live and breathe his music and love it, and I love how he just like is so just there and in the moment in his performance. We'll get into that a little bit as well, but um but I mean, just even the vibe that Yellow Wolf brings. I mean, he has this VIP experience where you could buy a package and that includes getting tattooed while you're hanging out with Yellow Wolf, and I'm like, wow, that's pretty awesome, isn't it? So but J. Michael has a new album called Whiskey and Roses that he made with Yellow Wolf. He tells it the story of how he got brought under Yellow Wolf's wing, which is really great. And I just saw this man that was so appreciative of for where he's at in this current moment, and for what the opportunity he's been given. But he wasn't just given it; he had to work for it, and he had to go through things have experiences that I can't even imagine in with my own life. And I just I'm so humbled that he took the time to chat with me, and he was honest and transparent, and at one point broke down even a little bit in the interview, just thinking back to that moment, um, in jail where he was making music, and just some of the experiences. I mean, it hit him pretty hard, but uh, but it was such a great conversation. So we're gonna bring him in, and I want to share a couple of songs from the set from that night. One from J. Michael, and then later at the end of the program, we'll play a song from Yellow Wolf from his set as well. So note before we get into J. Michael, this is episode 498 of Concert Pipeline Podcast, which means we are 2 weeks away from, or less actually, a little bit, than from the 500th episode of Concert Pipeline, which I'm really proud of how I'm kind of moving toward this milestone in my journey. I've interviewed hundreds of bands over the past 11 years since I started the Concert Pipeline as a podcast. I've had so many great conversations. I've had bands come back on the program and dive into other areas of their music, of their new music that they're bringing, of their career, and episode 499 and 500 are dedicated to my favorite artist, Andrew McMahon, who is celebrating 20 years of Everything in Transit. This album that's over my shoulder and lives in my room, and I think about it every day. Um, and it's such an incredible album. It is hitting its 20th anniversary on August 23rd, and that's when our 500th episode is going to drop. It's a co-interview that I did with Steve from Something in the Wilderness podcast. I brought him in, and we interviewed Andrew together for episode 500. But leading up to that, we're going to do a Red Rocks Experience episode for 4.99, where I dive into the Andrew McMahon show that he brought to Red Rocks in Colorado that I got to go to just a couple of weeks ago. And I talked to a couple of fans who were at the show, as well as my buddy Joe, who watched it streaming actually, and we'll talk about Andrew McMahon and his music and tie it into the Red Rocks show as well. So uh, lots of great stuff as we come up on this 500th episode milestone. Really excited about. But right now it's about J. Michael Phillips, and so we're gonna lead into his interview. But I want to start it with a song that was very important to J. Michael's own kind of career. It's a song called Diamond Ring, and it helped get him signed to Yellow Wolf's label, Slum American, as he tagged Yellow Wolf's manager. He'll tell a story about it, but he played it at Channel 24 in Sacramento. So let's play that and let's get into the interview with Jay Michael.
All right, we got some crowd participation on this one. Let me see your hands in the air one more time. You with your man, with your lady. Let me see you moving side to side for me. All the way up top, help me out. Here we go.
I might never have the bread to buy you a diamond ring, but baby, I'll give you my life, and I will not be giving up on you, not for anything. Oh God, baby, I'm yours and you're mine. Give me your heart, and I'll do the same. Give you my name with the vow that's forever. Knew from the start we were the same, and I see your pain, just wanna make you feel better. Tell me what you want and I'ma make it happen. I've been out here past the time, moving with the mission, put me in position, baby, we about to climb. Every day I hustle, I remember struggle, everything about the grind. Money never made me, I'ma make the money, baby, it's a state of mind. He broke your heart again, more than once, fed you lies, throw the more, treat him good, did you mad, best thing that he ever had. Kept you home, played field, such fakes, never real, beat you down and made you leave. I got you, girl, you're safe with me. I might never have the bread to buy you a diamond ring, oh baby, I'll give you my life, and I will not be giving up on you, not for anything. Oh God, baby, I'm yours and you're mine. Give me your heart, and I'll do the same. Give you my name with the vow that's forever. Knew from the start we were the same, and I see your pain, just wanna make you feel better. Tell me what you want and I'll make it happen. I've been out here past the time, moving with the mission, put me in position, baby, we about to climb. Every day I hustle, I remember struggle, everything about the grind. Money never made me, I'ma make the money, baby, it's a state of mind. I know that I might never have the bread to buy you a diamond ring, but baby, I give you my life, and I will not be giving up on you, not for anything. Oh God, baby, I'm yours and you're mine. Give me your heart, and I'll do the same. Give you my name with the vow that's forever. Knew from the start we were the same, and I see your pain, just wanna make you feel better. He broke your heart again, more than once, fed you lies, you throw the whole, treat him good, did you bad, best thing that he ever had. Kept you home, played field, such a favors, never really beat you down and made you leave. I got you, girl, you're safe with me.
Now hands for J. Michael Phillips.
How's your day treating you so far?
I literally woke up like 3 minutes ago.
Perfect timing. Got you right out of bed on the tour bus, right? So
Yeah.
uh, I love it. Well, I appreciate you taking the time. And are you in Sacramento yet, or are you on your way to
Yeah.
Sacramento?
Yeah, we're in Sacramento now.
Nice. What does your day look like in Sacramento now that you're awake and obviously starting with the podcast interview?
Uh, I honestly, I know we got a sound check at 1:30 today, and then I'll probably do some run around, get some odds and ends that I might need. Go shopping a little bit. We tend to frequent like thrift stores and stuff, vintage shops. See if there's anything cool we can grab that might be around locally. But yeah, we just pretty much hang out until it's time for showtime.
Yeah, no, for sure. So, Old Town Sacramento is pretty nice if you have a chance to get out over there. There's a cool saloon I went to last weekend. Took my son there too before we went to a show, and
Oh, you're
it's
gonna be at the show tonight?
I'm hoping, yeah. I'm talking to Barry and seeing if she can get me a ticket, and so I'm gonna try and make it.
I'm pretty sure we can get you in, man.
Okay, can make it happen. Okay.
Yeah, we get. I mean, worst case scenario, we'll put your name on the list plus whoever you want to get you in for sure. It's pretty dope, man.
I'm looking forward to it. It seems. I mean, I've been really getting into your music. I'll tell you, "Helping Hand" off your new album is an awesome way to start the album. And I don't know, that song's just a banger. I know it's not one of the first singles that you put out, but I really dig it.
Yeah, no, it's me and Will's one of our favorites. We talked about it, possibly shooting a video to it, because we really love it. It's such a powerful testament of where I'm at, where we're at. I mean, and just period. It's so real, and so many people I think are starting to relate to it. It's kind of very inspirational to people who um, sometimes feel like they've lost their way or they're not living in their purpose.
Yeah. Are you going to be playing that one tonight?
No, not gonna be playing that one tonight. I swear or Amnesia will probably be the ones that we play, but I got a different set. Wolf's got a set, his own set. He's got so many hit records, so many bangers that the crowd loves. Like he can go for like 7, 8 hours just playing music. So we squeeze them in right now. We're giving the album's freshly out, so we're giving the fans some time to digest it, take it in.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
you know.
for sure. Does Wolf come out with you also? I mean, he's very much a part of this album. So, I mean, do you play some
Yeah,
songs
no,
too?
I come out on his set.
Oh, okay.
He's the headliner, man. We can't bring him out yet. So,
Can't
it's
spoil
still
the good.
it's still entertainment, man. It's showbiz. You gotta go about things a certain way it's by the time we come out, or by the time he comes out, I should say the crowd is pretty wild. So it's fun.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, a lot to talk about. I mean, your story is so interesting to me. So I do like to start from the beginning. I know you were raised by your mom, and tell me a little bit about what music was on in the house when you were a kid. What was she listening to? What were you kind of getting into when you were younger?
Um, so I grew up in the '80s. My mom, she listened to a lot of Bob Seger, Alabama, Kenny Rogers, Dolly Parton, uh, Simon and Garfunkel, but also like Prince, Michael Jackson, Duran Duran, Wham, like all the '80s, Phil Collins, Genesis, you know what I mean, all the greats. Um, and then even like she would listen to like Buddy Holly and Patsy Cline and Hank Williams Jr. You know what I mean? Like so,
Oh
we
yeah.
had a lot. My background musically coming up as a kid, it's like very diverse. I had a very massive palette of music that I used to listen to. I didn't really, with me being multiracial, I mean, my parents, they had two different backgrounds, but they ended up meshing together pretty good with me. So I had a lot of great music growing up.
Yeah, yeah, and I know. I mean, did you have siblings that that were influential also, like in you musically? I think your sister like would sing you songs when you were a little kid, right?
Uh, no, my mom used to sing. So my sister was younger than me.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
so it was my mom that used to like sing us to sleep and stuff like that. She played guitar, sang folk music. Um, and my mom was a Jehovah's Witness, is a Jehovah's Witness still to this day. But they used to have like get-togethers and stuff where they would like just play music, and I would sing with my mom. And it started very young, like just singing in front of people, and I don't know, I don't ever remember not, um, or I never remember ever having a fear of singing in front of people ever.
Yeah, you're always really comfortable there. Huh.
Yeah.
And and you started with poetry, like in first grade, you like started writing poems. Tell me, did you have a teacher that was inspirational to you in that way and kind of gave you that helped give you some of that confidence?
Uh, yeah. Well, her name, the teacher that had that, her name was Miss Rogers, that had us do poems. I don't even know how that. I don't think she expected any of us to really be able to do any kind of a real poem, and she was pretty shocked when I knew, because my mom and my grandmother, my mom's mom, they wrote. So it was something that's passed down, something that was in my blood.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you see them around the house like writing a lot and you're like, I want to do that, or or they would spend time with you kind of working on your writing?
Um, my mom would always, she always writes, even to this day. Like if she if she feels like she wants to express to me what the moment is, like she'll write a poem and then send it to me. Like instead of just telling me just how she feels, like she just always expresses herself creatively. And I know that's where I get it from, because I just put my life in the music. I don't tell stories like fables or fairy tales. I tell it how it is or what I've experienced. And I never really thought of that till just now. Like I definitely get that from her.
Yeah. Yeah. And so on the countryside and on the rap side, was that like influenced by friends or that you
Yeah,
started getting in school?
yeah. I mean, really, um, I went and stayed with my dad periodically. So I moved back. I was born in Tacoma, Washington,
Mhm.
and moved back and forth from Ohio to Tacoma, Washington more time. I can't even count how many times. I never really lived anywhere more than like at a time. Um, and so at the I visited my dad when we were in Ohio, and I remember him having this LL Cool J radio tape. It was called the album was Radio. It had the song "I Need Love" on it, and it was like my favorite. Uh, I don't know, like it would just captivated me. You know what I mean? And then Run DMC and Aerosmith, Walk This Way, and um, the things that I got introduced to by my dad, even the Sugar Hill Gang. But my dad had these records, um, and he actually like let me play on it, use his records, play his records, and he had like Cheech and Chong and Funkadelics and all like these 70s and 80s records. Um, but the influence, the gangster rap, the NWA times and stuff. I happened to live in Washington, in Tacoma, Washington at that time, and it was very gang related up the West Coast in the '80s. Anybody knows that '80s, early '90s.
Yeah.
Um, and so like that was where my street influence came, because I had a single mother who was trying to provide for her kids, and she was gone most of the day working or going to school trying to get um something better for us. And then, you know, as a kid, I took advantage of that, skip school, and like at a very young age, like 8, 9 years old, 10 years old, skipping
Wow.
school, you know, hanging out with knucklehead older kids that, you know, brothers were gang members, and just really got into that gang culture. Um, and actually seeing my cousins too, like older cousins, when I was like 13, 12, 13, you know, making a lot of money from selling drugs. And so I started idolizing people that was in the streets, in gangs and drugs. You know, I was just a typical kid that was misled by the love of the things that were glorified in the environment around him. You know, so
Yeah.
all that stuff came the negativity, the going to prison. Like I was, you know, looking back at it and being able to reflect on like how I even got here. It's like even when I went to prison, I knew I always wanted to go to prison. Like it was like something. It was a rite of passage for me. It was like one of the things where I was like looking up to my cousins, like they're so tough and respected, and that's what I you know I just felt like that was a part of what had to come with it, and it did, and
Yeah.
I ended up spending half my life in prison because of the way that I was looking at it.
Yeah.
Now, you
It,
know, now when you mature, you have time to look back at things. You see the flaws in your thinking and the way that, you know, you were influenced in even thinking that way. And I feel like when I read stories, and I'm not putting down any type of genre itself, but there are, you know, there are things that I believe um that have a purposeful influence on a demographic of people in order to create a certain result. And I think they've achieved that result very well, whoever has orchestrated that. Because, you know, the stuff that we feed our kids, man, there's such a they're so vulnerable that they should, you know, we got to be careful what we feed them. I try to feed them positivity to the fullest all the time. When I talk to a kid, I let them know that their words matter and their thoughts matter.
yeah. Yeah. It's, yeah, I mean, you're a part of your surroundings, right? I mean, you're influenced that way. You become, you know, kind of that way. And in kind of your case, it's, I mean, it's probably very difficult to break that mold and
Oh yeah.
and to kind of to see that, hey, you know, this direction, this isn't, you know, this isn't a trophy. This isn't what you want with your life. You know, and I'm sure music gave you that, you know, that ability to kind of reflect on some of those periods. And I mean, even in prison, I mean, you really focused on your writing and your music. And tell me a little bit about that experience and kind of what that environment did for your music.
Um. So, uh, it's music's always been a form of therapy or a way to express myself. I didn't always look at it as therapy. I just looked at it as expression. But you know, after time went on, I understood it was my therapy. Um, but in prison, like there's so much talent. People are so talented in art and just everything. You know, electricians and just very creative people that can make something out of nothing, literally. Um, and you know, music is one of them things that is just universal. You can listen to, um, you can be in a situation or feel a certain type of way, and the song doesn't even have to be in your language. You can feel it. It can soothe your soul, or it can ignite your soul. It can, you know, it can give you just its feels. It's the frequencies that it runs on, the vibrations, and I think people in prison really, you know, that was an outlet. You know, when you got somebody that can really make music, man, you want to hear it, just want to keep, you know, supporting it for real. They was the most supportive people I had in prison, man. They used to come to my cell and be like in groups, sometimes like of 3 or 4, and be like, "Hey, man, will you do that one song you did? Like, can you play that, man? I was telling my son about it, or you know what I mean? It's just like I had, you know,
Yeah. This is a tough period, right? Like, I mean, it's that emotion's kind of coming back.
oh,
Yeah.
there. It's hard to tell the stories because
There's so
I
much
haven't
pain
caused
attached to it, I'm sure, right? Like,
not really for myself as much as for the type of people that were coming to listen.
you were able to impact people so positively, like, I mean, through your music, and and everyone around the prisoners, like the guards, even, I'm sure, like were impacted. Like, I know there's that
Yeah.
story about the guard getting the microphone in through the Chipotle
Oh
bowl
yeah.
or whatever, but I mean, so you had to have impacted them as well, right?
Yeah, yeah. No, everybody like, you know, there's just some stories that were just so powerful. You know, maybe one day I'll be able to tell them the way that they deserve, but it's just if I don't think about it for a while and then to think about it, it's kind of hard. But yeah, a lot of people just really believed it,
Yeah. Was
but
it?
it's like all the people that you wouldn't expect to.
Yeah, yeah. You don't expect that from, from that kind of that crowd, right? I mean,
Yeah.
so did that give you like the will, or the inspiration to push on and to continue to invest in yourself that way?
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, without the people that really helped make it happen, I don't know how much this story would be the story. You know what I mean? I don't. They've done so much to help me to realize that I can do it in there when I'm against all odds, and I'm, you know, it's never gonna happen from in there. Then you come out here and you have a chance. If I can do it from in there, then I can do it out here. And it was just like um, I don't know, it was just inspiring to me, and it really inspired others, I guess, too, to watch me be able to do that. Like a lot of you know, I see guards all the time. If I'm doing a show in Ohio, we just did 3 shows in Ohio, and all 3 shows I seen guards that, you know, some of the same guards went to all 3 of them, but you know, people that were in there that had helped me, and then just messages from guards who had known me and just tell me they're proud of me and stuff.
Yeah, you've inspired so many people. Yeah, I mean, because I mean, you're kind of that case that people, look for, right? Like, hey, look,
Yeah,
you can get past this. You can, this doesn't have to define you. This isn't you have talent, you have a gift that you could give to, back to the people in prison, the people out of, that aren't in prison, and just kind of tell your story, which is beautiful and incredible. And you're that success story of like getting out, and you're in a tour bus touring the country right now,
yeah,
and playing your
yeah.
music to thousands of people. Like, this is
It's
this is that
crazy.
moment, right?
No, it is absolutely. You know, that's why it's and it's an emotional thing, but it's, you know, it's a blessing to the fullest. And you know, every night you get to hear about how your music touched somebody or helped somebody. And that is powerful. Dang, I don't know why
Yeah,
I'm so emotional right now. That's crazy. But
yeah,
I mean, it's you know, it's cool to be able to
yeah.
make my mom proud. You know, rather than hurt her from going to jail and stuff. And you know, that's why I try to tell people, like, we don't realize who we hurt. We think that we're just hurting ourselves and we can deal with it, we can handle it. But there's so many more people that are hurt by our loss or our mistakes. And
Yeah. And you mentioned your mom. I'm sure she was so proud of you all this whole time. Like, I mean, did she go to some of your shows? Has she been,
oh yeah, yeah.
she's seen you a lot?
Her and my dad are back together. They've been back together for.
19
twice
years.
time. Yeah.
Like it was they were apart for 19 years. And like, what is that
Yeah.
like for you to kind of see that? Did you ever see that happening? What is that like for the family?
I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm happy now. You know what I mean? Everything happens for a reason, and they got their regrets, but now I think less than having regrets. I think they see that it all had to play out the way that it had to in order for this to be the result. You know what I mean? And this result makes everything worth it.
Yeah, for sure. Um,
Real.
yeah. So tell me a little bit about Yellow Wolf and kind of yeah, I mean your kind of path to collaborating with him because you listened to him in prison. That was when you
Yeah.
first kind of heard him, and then I mean at some point you kind of willed this into existence that you would make this great album Whiskey and Roses with him. So tell me kind of about your
Yeah.
path with that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, like I first heard him I was working out. I remember the day that I first heard him, and we were working out on the yard in North Central, it's a penitentiary in Ohio, and I was just like, "Who is that? That's fire!" It was like, "Man, that's Yellow Wolf," and I just remember just hearing the name and thinking, "Man, that's crazy!" Like Yellow Wolf. Like I didn't know, I I had no idea. All I knew was dope. You know what I mean? I was like, "This is fire," and then I got to see him like it was like a week or two later. It was on television. Uh, some concert he was doing or whatever, and he was like, rapping on the crowd. It was going crazy. It must have been like some kind of club. It was packed. There was people from everywhere, like different whites and blacks, not just one race of people. It's like a mixed crowd, and he got the crowd surfing and going crazy. He got this mullet mohawk thing going on, and he was just going. And I was just like, man, he just reminded me of some of my friends from home, just punk kid, gangster. You know what I mean? Like it was a mixture of everything. It was so dope to me, and I just became a fan of his, and followed and heard when he signed with M and heard about that, and I was like, oh yeah, now he's really about to blow up because I knew M from my area. I knew a lot of people that knew M because I stayed in Toledo, Ohio, which is like 45 minutes from Detroit, so we'd be in Detroit a lot, and my DJ Full Throttle, he used to manage Trick and help with D12, and so he was like in Eminem circle, and so it's really crazy. Um, anyway, so I'd heard about him and I knew he was really dope, but never in a million years would I thought I'd be working with him and or close friends with him. He's a brother now, but uh, I in 2023 uh, I released a song called Diamond Ring,
Yeah.
and I performed it in a jewelry store that my friend, one of my jeweler buddies, Zach and them owned it, and I was like, man, wouldn't it be crazy to go in here and just wear a whole bunch of jewelry and then sing how you can't afford to buy your girl a diamond ring? And it was kind of funny the way we were thinking about it. We were like, but it ended up being like one of the smartest things we could have did because it really caught on. And I tagged Edward Crow in it. Because I had heard about him from one of my friends. I didn't know who he was specifically until like literally like a week before I released that song, and I found heard that was Yellow Wolf's manager, and if we could get a conversation with him, maybe he could tell us the direction we could go in from here. And we knew that the success they had and the closeness with Jelly Roll and the situation with that, so like, well, it makes sense. So I tagged him in this Instagram post, and then I tried to untag him because I thought it was stupid that I tagged him. I should have had somebody else tag him because I didn't know him, and I was like, it makes me look weak. So I was like, whatever. And like 4 days later, got a message from him saying, oh, "I'm really feeling your music. What are you doing?" And I I was like, man, I'm trying to come down talk to you. They had just got off tour with Jelly Roll. They was off for like 3 days, and they were going back on tour with them. And so he was like, if you can make it down to Nashville in these 3 days, we'll sit down and have a conversation about management. And I was like, took off the next day, went down there. By the time we got out of our meal, I was locked in for a deal on a handshake. The paperwork would come, a week later, but we were locked in on a handshake on management. And it was never to, get me close to Yellow Wolf or, It wasn't, that wasn't the plan. It was just for him to give me some direction and to help me take my career to the next step. He really didn't know me yet. But as he got to know me, he was like, hey, I think you and Wolf would really be able to do some damage musically. You guys are powerhouses. You guys, the way you think, it's very similar. And he just seen it, him being so close with Wolf since they were like 12 years old. So he was like, but listen, I want you to, when you meet Wolf, man, don't talk about music. Don't say anything about your music. Just let him get to know you as a person. Like, and I'll let you know, when it's, time to talk about music. I was like, all right, I trust you, man. Because usually the first thing you want to say is, hey, I do music.
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
check this out, listen to this. As an artist, you do that, but I had to be very disciplined. I've learned how to be disciplined over time. So, me and Wolf built a organic friendship, true friendship, man. He became my boy. And then I was in Florida and I got a phone call from Zilla, Edward Crow, and he said, Wolf knows about your music and he's tripping. He's in the studio right now making songs for you. And I was like, oh shit. He was like, yeah. He was like, how soon can you get here? And I was like, I'll fly down or fly up tomorrow or whatever. So I got up there with them, and Wolf was in the studio all excited and had been in the studio for the past couple of days, creating some songs that he thought that I would fit in, because he felt like there was something missing in country, like urban country, that the kids would go to the hip hop world for. He was like, man, we need to be able to, put you in right here. This is open. This is a lane you could really do something with. And I don't know if he got it immediately, what I was capable of writing wise for myself. He was so excited. He was so hands on with it. He wanted to write everything for me. And I was like, except for the verses, he would like write the hooks and stuff. Not knowing like hooks are my favorite thing. Like I love hooks, writing hooks. The verses come easy because I just put real life into it. But the hooks are gotta be so dynamic to me. But he thinks of it the same way. We found out after time, like as we began writing more and more together, it changed from his idea of what he had and what my idea was, and it melted it into this like something even better. And
Yeah.
it was crazy because he showed me, he had like at least 7 songs for me when I got there. And I was like, he kept trying to get me to sing the hook, and I'd be like, man, I think you sing this better than me, bro. If I can get you to do this, then I'll do the. And before we know it, we had like 4 songs together. I had him on, and I was like, bro, why don't we just do an album, man? Why don't we just work on an album together? And he looked at me with a smile on his face. He was like, for real, you want to do that? And I was like, hell yeah, bro. And so he's like, bet, let's do it. And I don't know, that was over a year ago now. And we only ended up using 2 of those songs that we did originally, and we, cut the rest of the record. But and those songs stand great. They have their own little sauce. It's Honey Hole and Big Trucks, and they have their own different sauce. They have that more hip hoppy feel, or even bumper feel when it comes to Big Trucks. It's like a 70s Curtis Mayfield or something. It has this really like jazzy pimp style sound to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really how things developed, and then once we knew we was working on the project, and we had it solidified, we just really took our time with it, and chose the songs that we thought would best reflect the moment and and make sense within the project. We took our time. We didn't just throw songs together and throw a project together. Um, it was pretty awesome being a part of that um, process. And then with the art direction on it, that's Edward Crow. That's our manager. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He used to be a rapper too. You know what I mean? He's artistic and he's photography is crazy. Um, he's a a published. He has a book of photography that he does, the 5150 book. Um, but he did the album cover for us while he was on LSD. And he's a
Oh
big.
my gosh, that's awesome. The album
He,
cover is beautiful, by the way.
yeah.
You know, like
Thank you.
it's so cool. Yeah.
No, he did that pedal by pedal,
Pedal by pedal, huh?
and
He's
then
meticulous.
no, for real. Well, he was on LSD like to an extreme, and he told me that's okay for me to say because he's a big promoter of psilocybin, and um, he believes in the healing of the healing powers of mushrooms.
Yeah.
But when he showed me that, I was just like blown away, and so even so much more excited because it's not just a work of art sonically, but visually it is well for the Whiskey and Roses album.
Yeah, yeah. And so kind of tell me kind of what you brought in from, from your experience working on Urban Cowboy. Like what did you bring into to that album? Like I know a lot of it was, you kind of went in and there was already a kind of a framework done for some of the songs, but like tell me kind of what you were hoping to kind of match with.
I brought a lot of hooks to the table. Like I would do so what would happen was, some songs we built from scratch, like working with D Ray, who is Jelly Roll's boy, who helped write Son of a Sinner and
Yeah.
Save Me, and I mean D Ray's is phenomenal. But we I really what I would do is I'd present hooks, ideas, song ideas to Wolf, and then he would bring something, something we would just have these ideas for the most part, and we would bring them together and be like, oh, this works or this doesn't work, and let's go in this direction. Because the songs were all great. It was just about content wise, does it make sense with what we're talking about, like the theme of Whiskey and Roses, which is now so inspirational, like pretty much that you can do whatever you put your mind to type of things, but life is gonna be a little bit of whiskey, it's gonna be a little bit of roses. You know what I mean? It's it's some harshness to it, but there's beauty in it as well. And you can find the beauty in the harshness. And it's I don't know, it's really the message that I'm getting from the listeners since it's been out for a couple of weeks now.
Yeah.
I'm getting that feedback that it's very inspirational. It's helping people through hard times, and they're finding they're latching on to a certain song that they might I don't know. Amnesia's going crazy. I know that. I know they love Amnesia.
Oh yeah, yeah. All your songs are doing great. I mean, all the singles have broken 1 million views on YouTube, which
Yeah,
has to be an incredible feeling. Like you're
yeah.
just at this great point, and and you really focus on the underdog. So I'm curious, like for you, like for anyone who feels like they're an underdog, what's some advice maybe that you wish someone had given to you, or do you
Um,
feel like those experiences help make you who you are now, and kind of yeah, what are your thoughts there?
I, I mean, I feel like a lot of people have been lost because um, I don't know. When I was a kid, and my influences weren't the right influences, but we still had people that we call them OGs, like big homies and stuff that would give you let they would give you the jewels that they found over their time. You know what I mean? It's like we all bump our heads, and we all think we know things, and we all end up in situations that aren't favorable. But how we make them through those situations is what should be shared, and shared at certain times. There was a lot of things that my cousins and them told me about prison that helped me through prison. I mean, maybe they could have told me like how not to go to prison, but maybe they didn't know that. They didn't get it
Yeah.
yet because they still, my big cousin ended up getting, kingpin status in the feds and getting a double life sentence. Like
Wow.
so it's, maybe they didn't know it yet. But what I try to instill in the kids and the underdogs and everybody that witnesses my performance when I perform, um, I instill the importance that your words matter. I say, I'm not I'm not religious. I'm a spiritual person. I don't um I don't believe we should be divided by religions. But I mean that's my personal belief. Um, but you have to answer to something larger to yourself, and you have to know that you're not alone when you feel alone, and that your words matter and your thoughts matter. So if instead of saying I might or I could, say I am and I will. And we were all built in God's image, and God had the power to speak things into existence. So if we're in God's image, what makes you think that your words aren't just as powerful? That you can't create your reality by speaking it? People that stay on the same low. I think it's frequencies. I think if you're on a high frequency, which we are on right now, the 45 tour, uh, Yellow Wolf, Edward Crow, JT Lux, Sam Lee, uh, everybody that's on this tour, um, Clever, DJ Full Throttle, we all run on a high frequency. We all tell each other happy birthday every day because it's another day that you're born. You wake up, it's another day to do it all again. This is your blessed day. So we wish each other happy birthday every day. We speak positively. We have to do push-ups if we say MINE. If we say that word, we have to do push-ups because it's ours. This is our moment, and we're winning together. And there is I am team like everybody, like Wolf. Like we understand he's a big dog that runs this, and I always want him to know and that I appreciate where he's taken my life. But he's so humble. He's like, people are here to see us. They're not just here to see me now at this point. You know what I mean? And so own
Yeah.
that and cherish that and make sure you're telling them what they need to know. And that's the main thing that I try to tell people more than anything is your words matter, your thoughts matter, and you're not alone. So keep pushing, keep moving towards whatever you believe in your heart is meant for you, and you will be successful in whatever that is, as long as you never give up and continue to move towards it. And I'm like a living testament of that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. What's been like a highlight of the tour for you so far?
Oh man, the fans are the highlight. I mean, getting to travel the country and meet all these people from everywhere. American fans are truly like from what we're from, like the working class people, the people that come from nothing to have nots, those who have to really struggle to get things in life. Nothing's really given to you, and I'm not even saying like what so American, you can't have money, you can't have come from money. That's not it, man. But you have to be the type of person who um has a good heart and doesn't judge people for what they look like. You know what I mean? You gotta judge a person by their character. And um I just been welcomed by the American family every single place we've been, that I'm just you know there's there's hope for humanity. It's not all bad.
Yeah. Yeah. That's beautiful. It's true. Um, where do you see your music going in the next couple of years? Is it more collaborations, more projects, different that kind
Uh
of where what are you thinking?
yeah, I'm you know, I didn't come I didn't come this far to be number two.
Yeah.
So I'm going to continue to work hard to make the best music. I have some really great music in the chamber, and trust me, I'm not competing with anybody. I'm not saying that I'm competing, and definitely not with Yellow Wolf or Circle, because we're in different genres anyway. But I'm 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 coming to make a legacy, um, and something for my children. You know what I mean? I want this to change the dynamic of our history. You know what I mean? I don't want it to keep repeating itself. I don't want my boys to have to struggle like dad did. And that's why I push so hard.
Yeah, that's how you do it. You do it for your kids, but also it enriches yourself at the same time, right? I mean,
Yeah, absolutely. You
yeah,
gotta want it. You gotta want it for you. Uh, you
yeah,
know, but it's not work to me. It's you know, Edward Crow tells me all the time, man, he's so thankful for like my work ethic and like that I'm always, willing to listen, take advice, and to move towards bettering anything that might need. So I'm a perfectionist when it comes to this. Like I didn't I don't see any other way than to give it everything. And I believe as long as I give it everything, I don't believe anybody can be greater than me. I don't believe I can be greater than anybody, but I don't believe anybody can be greater than, you know, the best version of myself. So that's what I'm just trying to do is just make a lot of great music, meet people, create these relationships, and these bonds that are genuine. If I'm gonna make a song with somebody, I'm not gonna make a song with somebody who I don't like as a human being. So,
yeah,
or don't respect. You know what I mean? If I have to respect you. So if I'm making music with you, um, I respect that person for sure. And I just believe that we can give people what they need. Not just what they want, but what they need. So
yeah.
food for the soul.
Be friends first, right? And then you make the music. That's the way to do
Yeah,
it.
yeah. That's how
Yeah,
that's how we do it, or we build that relationship builds while we're making music too, you know what I mean? Because that you get to see who a person really is, man. Um, when you get to throwing them thoughts around on that paper or writing them songs, your true self comes out. Um, but yeah, almost everybody that I've met is just amazing. Like I just been so blessed to have some great relationships with some pretty big dogs right now in the music game. It's awesome.
that's so cool. That's so cool, Jim Michael. Well, I want to
Yeah.
thank you for taking the time. And I mean, obviously, first thing as you get up to, thanks for chatting and let me be your coffee. But
Yeah, no, it's all good, Bubba. What's your name again?
Steve Jones.
Steve. Make sure you add me on IG, man. I'll follow you
Uh,
back. I hope you can make it tonight, man, because I want you to experience that. I mean, I'll put you on the list to make sure, but I'm sure Barry will probably take care of you too. But
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I'll add you right now. But yeah, it's funny. I didn't notice, until last night that you were, in the area, or anything today.
yeah,
So it's kind of everything just lines up really well, with
yeah.
that. And I usually have my kids on Friday nights, and they're out of town with their mom, and so I'm like, you know
Oh,
what?
hey, it's
Yeah,
all aligned then. But
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
there's gonna be kids there too. There's always kids that are like one of this bracelet I still wear is from one of the kids that gave me one. But yeah, no, it's gonna be a good time, Bubba.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm not opposed to taking my son. I've been taking my son to a lot of shows recently. I took him to AC/DC a couple months ago down in
Oh,
LA, and we had floor tickets, so we were right up against the stage. And I'm like, "This is how you see a show," you know. Uh,
hell yeah.
and a bunch of other shows. So I've been, you know, influencing him that way. But a solo night to myself to see a good show is always good too. So
Oh yeah. Yeah. Wait, it's gonna be a good time, Bubba.
I want to say happy birthday to you as well. So
Happy birthday, brother. Thank you.
yeah, yeah. Have an awesome show tonight. And again, Old Town Sac is awesome. So if you have time, get out there. But there's
Okay.
a lot of good spots around too. So
All right. Thanks, Bubba, man. I
yeah,
appreciate it. Hope to see you tonight.
that was my interview with J. Michael Phillips here on Concert Pipeline, and that takes us to the final segment on the program, the music news. All right. I have short music news today. A couple of stories just to wind out the program. There's not a whole lot happening in the music world, which is weird because I dug hard and I didn't get a lot from this past week. Bob Dylan is back in the studio. Reportedly spent 2 days in a New York studio with members of his band. He's performing with Willie on Willie Nelson's Outlaw Music Festival tour that kicked off in May, returning through September. But ahead of the show in Buffalo, New York, he visited a studio and he recorded at White Lake Studios in Albany, New York, with quote unquote members of his band. And this is according to a press release. So they're intentionally vague. We want every artist and guest to feel relaxed and at home, said David Bourgeois, the studio CEO. We've had the privilege of working with many remarkable talents over the years, but this visit was truly special. I'm incredibly proud of our team. Uh, and they didn't say much more than that. So it's pretty much Dylan that went to a studio, maybe recorded a song. I don't know. I mean, he's not recording an album in 2 days, so I don't know how much he actually did in the studio. But there might be more new Bob Dylan music around the corner. Sharon Osbourne has debunked a ridiculous claim that the final Black Sabbath show raised $190 million for charity. She says it's going to take a little bit more time to figure out the final number because they have some bills to pay in that regard. But the Back to the Beginning show that went down in Villa Park in Birmingham on July 5th, where it did raise a lot of money, not quite that much is what she's saying. But Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine went on Instagram and said that it had raised more than $190 million and that it would be split between Cure Parkinson's, Birmingham Children's Hospital, and Acorn Children's Hospice. And so it's a few days before Ozzy's death, Sharon did an interview with Polestar and had distanced herself from those reported numbers. She said, I'm really happy that we're talking because one of the things that's frightening me is all this false press about how we've made $140 million and all of this. And I'm like, God, I wish we could have for one gig. And then she was told that it was actually 199 million that was reported, and she was to debunk that completely. So no final tally, but it's not quite that much, let's say. Nine Inch Nails kicked off their North American tour with Josh Freese back on the drums. They gave their new songs for the Tron Eras soundtrack, its live debut as well. The dates in the US commenced on Wednesday, August 6th, opening in Oakland, California at the Oakland Arena. It's a continuation of their long awaited Peel It Back 2025 World Tour. It's already seen Trent Reznor and company perform in the UK and in Europe, as well as being their first stop on the tour. Oakland also marked the first performance from since they announced that their drummer Ilian Rubin had left the lineup and had been replaced by Josh Freese. So the two drummers apparently have swapped roles. It's a whole weird thing. We don't know exactly why or what led to it. But I mean, I'm glad that both of them found a home in a notable rock band. Lars Ulrich has confirmed that Metallica are interested in Super Bowl 2026 halftime show and a Las Vegas Sphere residency. So next year, the Super Bowl is going to take place at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, close to San Francisco. While a headline act has yet to be announced, Ulrich has shared that San Francisco icons Metallica would be more than keen to play the coveted slot in their hometown. I would be more than pleased to see Metallica on the stage. It's always a pop act that is just like, okay, this or a rap act or something, but who's played it again? And it played it in like the past 5 years in some capacity. It's just like there's more artists out there. There's so many bands and so many good bands that you can dive into, and it can be Metallica. Let's do it. Let's try it. And I don't know that they've been offered, and I usually don't do a lot of speculatory articles, cover a lot of those on here because there's so many out there, people just talking to talk. But man, if Metallica would play the halftime show, that would be cool. But even cooler would be them playing the Sphere. I want to go to the Sphere, but I'm not going to go and see just any band. I'm not going to go. I'm not going to see the Eagles. I'm not going to see U2 doing their Chung Baby album or whatever. I'm not going to go see Backstreet Boys. I'm not going to go to those shows. I will go when it is a band that I really like and that I know I'll have a freaking blast on. So if they're in talks to do a residency at the Sphere, sign me up. Let's do it. Let's go. I'm down. Be cool to find a friend or two to go with, but I'm there one way or another, right? Okay, and then last up, Mickey Hart talked about how the Dead did several anniversary shows at Golden Gate Park in San Francisco. She said they completed 3 nights there, and he. Said this weekend was 3 days of coming home, and in those final moments of the weekend, it was truly profound. I saw 60,000 people sparkling light in love, in train big time and coming our way. Different than applause after a song, it sounded more like an all the peace and love and proximity generated collective energy that was shared by all. Very rare stuff indeed. And I mean, I hear good things about that show. It just seemed like it would have been really cool. Again, I'm not a Dead and Company fan per se, but I'm sure it was a good experience. That is our show for today. Thank you for tuning in. Again, next episode 499 is going to be Andrew McMahon, the Red Rocks Experience, covering Something Corporate, Jack's Mannequin, and Andrew McMahon in the Wilderness from the show out there that I went out to be a part of. Lots of great stories to be shared in that episode, followed by episode 500, where Andrew McMahon himself will be on the program. And we'll dive into where Andrew's head is at on episode 500. So we're going to close it out with a song, like I said, from Yelawolf. This is a song called Simple. I stayed for Yelawolf's whole set, which I really wasn't fully intending on doing. I wasn't opposed to it, but I dip out of shows when I can and get home and appreciate the sleep time. But the show was great. I was also waiting for J. Michael Phillips to come out during Yelawolf's set, and that didn't happen, which I'm a little bummed about. But Yelawolf closed with this song Simple, and it was beautiful. It was incredible. There was an energy, and I felt this connection and just like was in the moment with this song, and it's great. And you can see the song. I put it separately on YouTube, so or on Concert Pipeline's Instagram. You could check it out there as well. But I recommend checking video out of this song if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. So for all of us here at Concert Pipeline, I'm Steve Jones. We'll catch you next time.
I'm not a simple man. My heart is heavy, it's complicated. Why do I hurt myself constantly? No one to blame, this is all on me. I had simple plans. Ended up chasing a dream through stages, walking through hell with my hands up to heaven, giving a gift and I made it my weapon. God, can you hear me? Please send down your angels, send me some solace, 'cause I need sleep. Break these chains. I'm ashamed of the man I became. Took my shot and got hit ricochet. To have me back, I'd give anything, anything. Make it simple again. Make it simple again. Sacramento, listen up. Scars on my name from the wars that I've weathered. Ties to the old me just can't be severed. And it's hard to believe again when you figure out you're not the one in control. But I'm down on my knees, I give it up unselfishly. Break these chains. I'm ashamed of the man I became. Took my shot and got hit ricochet. To have me back, I'd give anything, anything. Make it simple again. Make it simple again. believe again when you figure out you're not the one in control. You're not the one in control. You're not the one in control. Come on. You're not the one in control. Let's go. You're not the one in control. Come on. You're not the one in control. One more time. You're not the one in control. 'Cause it's hard to believe again when you figure out you're not the one in control. Make it simple. Thank you, Sacramento. Thank you, I love you so much. We'll see you next time.